72, and all the older guys in high school were joining and fighting for the cause. So I felt that that was my purpose. I went there. I went to Paris Island. How many went to Paris Island? Oh my goodness! Wow. Ask that question again.
My question to you is: do you feel that your Marine Corps training helped you to defeat the merciless Ming?
What do you think, huh? Come on, yes.
Probably didn't train on jet sleds though.
Well, that was a huge surprise, really. My goodness.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Before you go, does anybody have any questions for them? I know we're going to do the Q&A about me and all that, but they're here, and you know, Seth, I didn't have a whole lot of time to enjoy it. I start to enjoy it now as I sit here with you and watch it, because when you're young like that and you're thrown into a mega production, and yeah, you walk onto $1 million set, the set of Arborea, and the palace, everything red and gold, and the forest, I mean, on and on. I walk in and I go, oh my gosh, look at this. This is unbelievable.
It looked like MGM musicals.
Yeah, but then you got to catch yourself. Say, wait a minute, job at hand. Okay, I got to do this scene. I got to go outside, learn how to use a bullwhip. I got to rehearse another one. I got to go back and rehearse the fight scene. So there's really no time to. I mean, it really requires no muscle, but it's just technique, you know.
Okay.
And so Timothy Dalton and I, you remember the rotating disc scene, right? Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite scenes, because we spent 3 weeks to a month rehearsing, and it was a big deal because it wasn't just metal shafts. You know, with the shaft coming up was metal, the tip was rubber. You had 3 guys on hydraulics tilting the disc and moving the, I don't know, maybe 500 or 800 people. It was phenomenal how he did it. And yet you didn't feel bad. We were enjoying the performance, you know? It's bigger than life, he really is.
I saw footage of him doing an interview, and he actually stood up behind a table, like got around and just started orating. He was doing Shakespeare in the middle of like a Q&A session. So it was great. Yeah, Timothy Dalton, Max von Sydow, who's recently announced that he's going to be in the new Star Wars. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, he'll go on forever. I mean, it really, he has that presence. He really does. And I hope to be joining him. You know, at those really, it's fun. I mean, it's you know, I guess it's like the old circus years ago. They're coming to town. You come in with this big movie production, and you have to form. There has to be a unity. I thought they nailed it. You know, really, and there's so many things that go into a production, and yeah, they really. I mean, they have become, well, they already were, I think, iconic. You know, what they've achieved. But yeah, it was just icing on the cake for Flash Gordon. Matter of fact, no matter where I travel, if people weren't too sure, maybe they didn't see Flash Gordon, you know, in places like Namibia, but no, I'm teasing. But if they didn't, what they would say is, oh, you mean the movie with Queen, you see? So that was kind of cool. That happened a lot, actually. They would identify Queen, and that was kind of neat, you know? So.
I also read that Pink Floyd was considered to do the sound.
Yes. Yeah, the young lady, good question, wants to know if they're making a Flash Gordon sequel. What is today?
It's May 1st. May
Okay,
Day.
so it's Thursday. So it was last week. It was last week, I think on Thursday, 20th Century Fox announced they just acquired the movie rights and they're going to do a sequel. Yeah. So yeah. And I'm excited about it. And the only reason why I'm excited, even though it's been in development, it's been in development for many years. Stephen Sommers, who did Van Helsing and a lot of movies, bought the rights, for some reason did not carry through on the option. And then most recently, Neil Moritz, who did a lot of authoritative meaning behind it, that Fox is serious to do it. And I'm ready to go. Come on, baby.
Well, they did miss the chance for Ted. They didn't hop on with Ted. Maybe they're looking for a second shot.
On Ted?
Yeah.
No, we're in discussions right now to do it. No, they're going. It's a done deal as far as Universal and Seth and Ted too. And we're right in the middle of discussions to start the sequel late June, early July.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, mentions of Ted and the hands go up. Interesting. Let's start over here.
Great question. It really is. I'll tell you why. Because my kids are ages 31. Now he wasn't even born when I did Flash, you know. And then my 26-year-old daughter, my 17-year-old son. So so the younger one, they've all seen it on DVD. But in the early years of all them growing up, they heard us talk about Flash Gordon. And a lot of years I wasn't active. I was busy, you know, trying to provide. 18-year-old when he was 15 on the set of Ted in Boston. Then he put it together. Oh my gosh, Dad! Wow, this is something. So you really are in the movie industry, huh? Wow. Yeah, I've been trying to tell you that for years, you know.
Sounds like a bash. Awesome.
Do we need to wrap this up, Joe? Yeah, that's a wrap.
Yeah, I'm getting the spinny fingers. So, last question. Anyone who really wants it? I've seen a lot of people pointing. Okay, the person who's pointing to the person.
God forbid you are not Flash Gordon. Which of your roles do you want to be remembered for?
I'm gonna do two. Don't worry.
Okay,
We'll
we'll do
Very
the
insistent
both.
people.
All of me you want? Is it pieces of me? Is it a parody? Is it a spoof of me? So we came to the conclusion it's going to be pieces of me, a part of me, and I'm going to do a spoof on myself because you know he wanted me to do other things. And I said, okay, that's Sam J. Jones' part, but that's not Flash Gordon. The kids aren't going to get that. I would not do that because there is a moral compass that me, Sam Jones, and that Flash Gordon lives by. And certain things I'm not going to do. And he didn't really get that, you know, until I explained a little bit more about Flash Gordon being created in 1934 and you know, just his principles and his. And I'm asking them, you know, do you want to party? I have an itch on my nose at the same time. That's all perception.
Coincidence,
you see?
okay.
And then the little thing about the white powder in the bathroom. Well, you know, in the bathroom we accidentally knocked over the baby powder. It's all perception. Hey, let's hear it for Seth, man. Thank you, Seth, all right? Good moderating there, all right?
Hey, you gotta say it. You gotta say it one time before you leave.
Okay, you ready? Let me see. Count on my fingers. 3 words, right? You ready? On 3. I'll give you a hint. 1, 2, 3.
Death to me!
You are ruggedly handsome. It makes me sick. Just makes me sick. Gosh, you got that killer smile.
First time I've ever met the voice.
Yes. I know we radio. You look great. You look fantastic. You look. Wait, now is your microphone on? Your microphone might not be.
Are you hearing me?
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I tend to forget.
Is it?
Rip
Did
it
you-
off every night.
Now
Because it hurts. I'm gonna rip it off and I'm somewhat of a masochist.
Yeah, oh, you love that feeling.
We were in the studio south of London, and out came the cast and crew going to lunch. And out came the 7'1" gentleman dressed to a very thin gentleman dressed in the outfit. Now he's got very bright blue Adidas tennis shoes on. His head is off, and he's talking about politics with this 5-foot wardrobe lady, and the tail is being carried by this very flamboyant, terrific guy who knew what he looked like, carrying his tail with a silk white scarf flying. Wouldn't you paid a lot of money for that photograph? God.
What's interesting is
Yes,
that
I should thank you for taking it off the shelf.
I saw that Joe here had a bag with 5 of them in
Business.
there.
How can I take this business seriously?
What did you sign away?
35 years ago, you didn't know about this new world that we're living in. It's a whole new media. I mean, this whole business is changing. It's digital video. It's not film anymore. It's not Hollywood anymore. Yes, you think it is, but it's new media. We have to think about the new media. You filmmakers out there have to think about how you're going to go about the future.
The second annual Science Fiction Film Festival, the director and star of Star Trek First Contact, Mr. Jonathan Frakes. were you the reason he came on board? Did you?
Yeah, right.
You're the director, you have a say. I mean,
No, Jerry was famous for his Star Trek themes. Had he not done most of the other Star
I mean,
Trek?
James Horner had did primarily the rest of the Trek
Yeah,
films.
but Jerry was a big part of his. John Williams had Star Wars and he had Star Trek, and that was sort of their thing. But he was a master and a gentleman. And he had the greatest ponytail, the long gray ponytail. We used to go to his house to hear the themes. That thing that happens. The first time he played it, Rick Berman and I were over there. We looked at each other and said, "Oh, we're in good hands." It's really he does something that I don't understand how to do. I understand most of the other parts of the process. Scoring a movie is so far beyond my. I know what it's like pornography. I don't know much about it, but I know what I like. The score makes you feel things, and that they know what instrumentation and what tempo and what rhythm and what melodies to introduce and when to bring them in to change how we feel or to underline how we're meant to feel. It's arguably the most exciting part of the process.
Well, you're no stranger to orchestration yourself because you are known to play a trombone.
I play loud.
This is clean, right?
Yes.
Is that yours? Clean? Yes. Courtesy of the University of Washington Marching Band.
Mouthpiece was clean.
Yes.
Is that your mouthpiece?
Yes.
Let me see your mouth. Let me see your lips. You all right?
You should be more concerned what was actually, Tom Skerritt's arm was on that chair last night.
Tom Skerritt was here. He played the father in Leverage, which we used to do in Portland.
That's right.
Isn't he a gentleman? Lovely.
You're a gentleman.
Yeah, but he's much more of a gentleman than I am. And he's much more soft-spoken.
He was singing your praises last night.
He had a great time on our show. He played Tim Hutton's father.
I remember that. And speaking of Leverage, you just recently directed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Speaking of Leverage, you just directed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, what is the story? Is that show going to survive?
It is, second season.
Are you sure?
That's the second season, right?
The superheroes out? I did the episode about the Asgardians.
Right.
And they found the Asgardian staff, and the only thing I was allowed to show was Thor from here down, Thor's feet, the hammer. Never saw Thor. What's up with that?
If they had to pay for that.
Did you see the cap?
No.
No. I'd be disappointed if I were an audience.
Speaking of
Not
audience,
that I wanted to go off the end because I want to go back to work there.
yeah, it's a good gig. Speaking of audience, I was asking ahead of time, show of hands, who thinks The First Contact's the best film? I personally think it is.
Except there's a soft spot for Wrath of Khan.
Well, no. that is the
Film. It's all been downhill since then. But it's been,
I actually like Thunderbirds.
oh. You had to go there. That movie sent me to movie jail. Not that I'm not happy shooting cable TV, but I'm in movie jail. They could only all be like First Contact.
Was
it was a great movie.
Was it daunting when you think of the scale of First God? It's my first, major film, and I've got the board to deal with. We've got all these technical things we're having to work. Were you ever intimidated?
Sure, I was intimidated, but I mean, the not very well kept secret about movies is that it's just a bigger version than TV show. They just had a little more time, a little more money. Westmore had designed the board already. We already seen the board, but now we had to. And from that point on, Alfred Woodard is my godfather. So I played the godmother card when I asked her to be in the movie. Because I'd been offered parts in episodes of shows, and she was a kind of a big star. I didn't want to do guest spots. Along came part of a big Star Trek movie. God, Mommy came on.
Was she a Trek fan?
No. But to this day, she'll say it's the most successful movie she has ever been in. And she's great in it too.
Spirit Stone.
I don't know if you can handle all the alien women.
Speaking of Next Generation cast, when you decided that did they approach you or did you approach them about wanting to direct First Contact?
Oh, a lot of us threw our hats into the ring. Once it became clear that the A-list of sort of visual effects and sci-fi directors like Cameron and those guys were not going to do Star Trek 8, then it became sort of an open market. And I begged and clawed, and at one point, good hairpiece. That's a good crowd today. Good crowd that gets all the Trek jokes.
I remember when we had you at Emerald. Who saw Jonathan at Emerald City Comic Con back in 2020?
I was there. I remember that. Emerald City's a great convention.
Well, having people like you, of course.
No, but it's well run. It's a blast to do. It's one of the good ones. Also, this place is great. I've had the privilege of working up here with the Seattle Symphony and doing a sci-fi.
A couple years ago, you were up here for that.
It's a great city. I love it. Leave them laughing.
Before we open up to the audience, Jonathan, 2 questions I wanted to ask you. Yes. You and Jeannie Francis. Any General Hospital fans out there? You guys been married how many years?
25 years married, 28 years together.
What is the secret?
What is the secret to
What
being
is
married?
what is the number?
Of course you're right. She's always right. Secret number 2.
We should stop there. One last question. What is the best advice you
I feel like
ever,
we're doing
the best professional advice you ever got that you never followed?
Interesting, from my acting teacher, the late great Archie Smith, one of my acting teachers, he said there are 2 most important things about being an actor. 1, make sure your shoes fit. And 2, never marry an actress. So I got them half right.
If anybody's got
to take a nap in a movie. I saw the worst movie ever made yesterday. Oh my God.
What?
No, the one with Cameron Diaz and the other 2. Oh my Lord. You know what Patrick Stewart's favorite movie is? True story? Hot Shots Part 2. True technology? It's my strongest suit! Bigger movies with bigger directors. Did you guys play Alien this week, or Aliens?
Yeah.
They're fantastic. One's better than the next. I mean, they're really equally good. But the third one. When that French guy took over.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for directing my favorite Star Trek movie.
Oh.
Well, thank you. Obviously. Oh my God. Who's the shooter? Are you shooting this selfie? Are you making a real selfie?
Jonathan, you should take it.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be in focus. Oh, thank God somebody stepped up. Come on, gather around, all you people. Okay, right? I mean, I love when we blow stuff up, and I love the Borg, and I love the moment I talked about earlier with Alice, and I love the drunk scene with Marina and Zephyrin. but to be sitting cross-legged under the camera in that little room and watch those 2 heavyweights duke it out, figuratively, as acting that scene it was like being around, it was a master class. And they were both spectacular in it. The writing was really good. The 2 of them had connected. It was one of my favorite memories of the whole experience. I'll tell you another moment about First Contact when I knew I was making a movie and not TV show. We were in pre-production, and the great the special effects guys, which are the guys that blow everything up. It's not visual, it's not digital. Where they literally blow everything up. I was in a meeting with Terry Frazee and his family, who were the special effects guys, and Matthew Leonetti did a great job as the cinematographer. And we're talking about that town where Zephram lives. That town called, does it have a name in the movie?
Montana, Central Montana.
And I said, well, can we sort of, you know, like blow up some of the vegetables in the garden or something, you know, when it's being raked and bombed? They said, no, Frakes, you don't get it. We're gonna blow up the whole town. And all of a sudden, a light bulb went on. I said, this is gonna be great.
Hi.
Oh,
Keep going. You have a beautiful voice. So you've been behind the camera, you've been in front.
I'm much happier behind the camera, and it's a good thing because nobody seems to be knocking my door down to give me any acting jobs. Leonard Nimoy said, it's better to be typecast than not be cast at all. I'm not so sure. I mean, Patrick's doing great. Patrick has a new series. Have you read about Patrick's new series with Seth MacFarlane? They just sold 2 seasons of a new, it's a comedy that MacFarlane's going to write and produce, and Patrick's going to star in. It's going to be on Stars.
Everybody with respect. And you are, I mean, what you see is what you get with this guy. There's nothing phony about this. You are the absolute real deal. You're a joker and you're a clown. So I want to ask you.
I knew there was something, guys. There's all kinds of nice for there, and then I just think there's something's behind his back.
It's all good.
Another trombone.
No more instruments. And
Wait, is Patrick here?
Next year. In your entire life of making people laugh, what is the one singular memory that stands out that you got the most satisfaction of getting someone to laugh?
Wow. That's a horrible place to put me. I don't have an answer. I will say that one of the greatest moments on the bridge was when Michael Dorn, who used to pretend to unscrew Patrick's head, and tap his fake cigar into it, and then screw his head back on. Because we all acted out here, and Dorn was stuck up here, and nobody ever looked at him. He came to the bridge one day with a raw egg, and he went up to Patrick, and he smashed the egg on the top of Patrick's bald tape, and there was yolk and albumin dripping down the side of old Baldy's face. Fact or fiction?
You be the judge. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Frakes.
Bless you all. Thank you very much for coming.